December 2014. And yes, I'm driving, doing some more vlogs. Again, it's the only time I can try and get some of these subjects, if you like, out of my head while I'm still thinking about them. Another subject, okay, hauntings and possessions. I've always actually been really fascinated. Now, I've been to houses that have been haunted. Thankfully, I have never been possessed. I don't particularly want to ever be possessed. Some people are open to being possessed, which I find extraordinary, really, because I think, that's kind of bordering on a little bit of lunacy, allowing something like a demon or a spirit to actually take over your body is kind of scary. But anyway, hauntings. Again, I've seen lots of videos on TV and YouTube about hauntings. There's a series on TV, on English TV at the moment, called My Haunting Story, or My Story of Haunting, something like that, where they interview people who have bought houses that are haunted, that have sort of malevolent spirit in them that, creates problems. There's no doubt, I'm not disputing anything like that. So the subject today about hauntings, which one thing that's always kind of fascinated me is, these things can be moved on, and I don't really understand why people want to keep them. There was an experience, a video of somebody that I saw, where this person grew up in their town, in their local area, and they were always fascinated with this particular property. It was an old property. It was in America. It was an old property. It was over 100 years old, and they always dreamt of actually owning this property, and eventually they did. And then, unbeknown to them, him and his wife, was that the house was actually haunted. It had a spirit, a malevolent spirit attached to it, and they went through the whole thing. These things were happening, things were being moved around, and such like. I also saw another video around the same time about a bar somewhere that was haunted, and they couldn't keep staff, and that spirit was quite malevolent as well. Smashing glasses, moving things around, touching people, and just generally sort of being quite malevolent. So what I don't really understand is why people put up with it. I kind of don't really, because these things can be moved on. You can get an exorcism. There are things that you can actually do yourself that will just, sort of make it known that you don't really like them being there. That you don't have to be aggressive and whatever, but you can actually just move these things on. And a rather interesting observation is that even when buildings are knocked down and new buildings are built on the same plot, that the malevolent spirit can still be there. It seems to reside in the area, or it seems to reside on the plot of land. Now, if it's an intelligent being, that can certainly be moved on. If it's a brick recording, a recording of something that reoccurs that's not intelligent, you can't communicate with it, and it's like playing a videotape over and over and over again. I'm kind of guessing that that's a little bit more difficult to get rid of, because you can't really get rid of something that's stuck, that's being replayed over and over and over again. And I guess in a way, if you owned a property where that was happening, that you just kind of have to put up with it, really. I'm not aware that you can get rid of something like that because it's a non-intelligent, paranormal situation. But an intelligent thing like a demon or a malevolent spirit or a poltergeist, because it's intelligent, can be got rid of. And I guess I don't really understand why people can't move these things on. You can move these things on, or at least find someone else that can help you move them on. You kind of don't have to put up with these things for the rest of your life and suffer it, really. You don't really have to do that. So it's an interesting, I don't know whether anyone else has really got any thoughts on this. It can make people's lives hell. They don't really want that kind of thing happening. They're fearful of their own safety. They're fearful for their children's safety, and such like. Is that a psychological thing? Is it, because people can't handle it? I don't know. And I also believe that sometimes people don't, and that has also been mentioned, that sometimes people don't want to get rid of these things. It's almost like they kind of crave the attention and the fact that it's actually there, which I also find quite interesting. It's like smoking, I guess. People know that smoking is bad for you, but they still don't give it up because they still like doing it, or they have a choice. Everyone has a choice to do something about it. So yeah, any comments, please do say or comment on it. I just find it interesting. It's an interesting observation. It's thankfully I don't have a malevolent spirit in the house that I live in, but I know there's a lot of spirits there. My wife knows that there's a lot of spirits there. But they don't do anything, they talk, they communicate, but they don't do anything nasty or negative. So I'm not afraid of them being there. They come and go whenever they feel like it, which is quite good, really. But they've got the freedom to do that. So yeah, anyway, leave a comment, participate, point me in the direction of some answers if you have them, and I look forward to seeing you again in another video.